In November of 2022, Ouija boards made the international headlines when the device cropped up in a Colombian police investigation involving school children. But was the Ouija board a game to some and a method of contacting the dead to others really to blame for what happened? Welcome to the Crafty Cryptid, a channel dedicated to DIY crafting and spooky storytelling. If you are a connoisseur of the strange, the mysterious, and the downright spooky, then make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you're always updated when I post my bi-weekly episodes. Today, we are going to uncover what really happened at a Colombian school last year and dive into the history of the Ouija board. Nearly a dozen students at a school in Colombia inexplicably collapsed and were found writhing on the floor in pain after they are said to have played with a Ouija board. The weird incident reportedly occurred in November of 2022 at the Agricultural Technical Institute in the town of Hato. The children had gathered in a school corridor to play with the Ouija board, also known as a spirit board or a talking board. A Ouija board is a flat board marked with the letters of the Latin alphabet, the numbers 0 through 9, the words yes, no, occasionally hello and goodbye, along with various symbols and graphics. It uses a planchette as a movable indicator to spell out messages during a seance. Participants place their fingers on the planchette, and it is moved about the board to spell out words. Originally, the Ouija board was not meant as a way of contacting the dead. In fact, for most of its existence, it was considered an innocent parlor game, until Pearl Curran, a spiritualist, popularized its use as a divining tool during World War I. Until then, spiritualists in the United States had been using talking boards to communicate with the dead, but Pearl was the first one to use a Ouija board, which was a specific game trademarked by Parker Brothers and later by Hasbro. Pearl was said to have made first contact with a ghost by the name of Patience Worth. According to the story, Pearl began communicating with the dead using a neighbor's Ouija board, and on July 8th of 1913, the board suddenly seemed to have a strength all of its own. A message came through which stated, "Many moons ago I lived, again I come, Patience Worth my name. Wait, I would speak with thee. If thou shalt live, then so shall I. I make bread at thy hearth. Good friends, let us be merry. The time for work is past. Let the tabby drowse and blink her wisdom to the firelog." Pearl Curran's friend and neighbor Emily Grant Hutchins wrote a novel claiming that her book was dictated by Mark Twain's spirit through the use of a Ouija board after his death, and well-known occultist Aleister Crowley used it in his magic sessions. Roughly 20 years later, the Ouija board would be at the center of a terrible crime when 15-year-old Maddie Turley from San Diego shot her own father twice in the back, and then claimed the board had told her to do it. Apparently, the device told Maddie to commit the crime so that her mother, Dorothea Irene Turley, who was holding the planchette at the time, could, quote, marry a young cowboy. Turley's mother insisted she followed the directions, and both women were arrested. Turley's father died in the hospital a couple of weeks after the shooting. Since then, many terrible instances have surrounded the use of Ouija boards, from criminals using it as a method of directing their actions to alleged demon possession. Nowadays, Ouija boards are considered evil, or, at the very least, a means by which evil interacts with our plane of existence. In the case of the children in Colombia, it appeared that the Ouija board was to blame for the incredible illness that overwhelmed the dozen or so teenagers in Hato's school. Administrators were stunned when a member of the staff stumbled upon the teenagers vomiting and experiencing muscle spasms while scattered across the floor of the hallway. The children were subsequently taken to a local hospital, and word soon spread within the school that the teens had been playing with a Ouija board prior to the puzzling event, and that their session with the spooky device was to blame for what happened. While you might think that such a fantastic theory would be dismissed by authorities, the mayor of the town actually told reporters that, quote, "It is not ruled out that it was the Ouija board. That is part of the investigation," unquote. However, an official from the hospital indicated that they explored this possibility and, quote, "did not find psychological alteration in the children," unquote, when they were examined at the facility. As of now, it is believed that the teens may have gotten sick due to contaminated water, as the investigation determined that, before they fell ill, the youngsters had all been drinking from the same glass. In all fairness, this specific event was more likely due to food poisoning than demonic possession, but the mayor of the town and others in positions of authority still attribute the cause to the Ouija board. What do you think? Are Ouija boards actually tools through which demons can affect our world? Is it just a game or an example of the ideomotor phenomenon? Have you ever messed around with a Ouija board yourself? Let us know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. To be notified when I post next, click subscribe and ding the notification bell so that you're always up to date when my bi-weekly episodes drop. Thanks for watching, everyone, and come back soon, cryptids.